So as you can see, the egg and sugar mix has tripled in size. It takes about 10 minutes, well, 5 to 10 minutes to do this. If you dip your whisks in, when you lift them out and do a figure 8 on top, if the figure 8 stays on top of the mixture for more than about 3 seconds, it means your mixture is ready to go. It's going to hold its shape, so you're not going to knock the air out. Now don't knock your beaters on the side of the bowl, because they'll knock the air out in your egg and sugar mix. Put this aside. If you do choose to use a bain-marie for when you're whisking, make sure it doesn't get too hot, because it will cook the eggs and then you won't be able to get any more air into your egg and sugar mix. So what we're going to do now is we're going to sieve in our flour. It's our final ingredients for your cake. You could add a bit of vanilla extract in if you like. So I'm going to sieve this in to make sure there's no lumps in it. This also adds a bit of air as it goes through the sieve. Also, because we're going to fold it, we don't want any lumps to form, because we're not going to be able to get those out as we fold our mixture in. So just bang it against your hand. Make sure the bottom of the sieve doesn't go into the mixture, because your flour won't go through the sieve. Let's get this through here. So adding a bit more egg in here. So mixture is also used for making Swiss rolls. So the chocolate Yule logs you have at Christmas, they're using this mixture. Now because this has no fat in it, it has a shorter shelf life than normal cakes, so it won't last so long. We're also going to put cream in ours, so that's also another reason to keep it in the fridge and to eat it quicker. So as you've noticed, all of the flour is sunk to the bottom, so we're going to do a figure 8 with our spoon. You must go through the mixture with that edge of the spoon, because that will part the air bubbles rather than burst them. You must use a metal spoon, not a wooden or plastic one. So down the middle, make sure you hit the bottom of the bowl and fold it over. Down the middle, fold it over. Now you've got to do this in in few movements as possible, but getting all the flour mixed in. You can move your bowl around if it helps. There must be no flour evident in the mixture when it goes in those tins, because otherwise it'll just cook as raw flour and it won't taste very nice. So as few movements as possible, trying to keep all the air bubbles in. As this air is going to make this cake spongy. Now as this cooks, the eggs will set in your mixture, so they will coagulate, keeping the honeycomb structure with the air bubbles that have been produced by the raising agent in the self-raising flour and the whisking of the eggs. So go round. You can add other flavours to this if you like. You must fold the mixture in. Gently does it. It's not a race, you don't have to do it fast. Just slowly make sure all that flour is mixed in. You can put cocoa powder in here. Just take some of the flour out. But again, be careful as you fold it in. Cocoa does tend to dry your mixture out a bit more and make it a bit more difficult to handle. So I'm nearly there. It's the last bit of flour. Right, so I'm literally going to pour this into my tin. I'm not going to flatten it out, I'm not going to spoon it in, I'm going to try and guess equal amounts in each tin. So because this has no fat in it, I put baking parchment at the bottom of my tins. I've got 2 of them. If you don't have baking parchment, grease with paper and grease your tins well. So grease and line them properly, otherwise your cake will stick. There's no fat in the cake mixture to stop it from sticking. So I'm just going to guess about half in each. If you find there's any raw flour in the bottom of your bowl, don't scrape it into your cake tins, just leave it in the bottom of the bowl, okay? You don't want that in your cake mix. Just scoop out the last bits. You should be able to still you should feel and sort of kind of spongy. That should be the air bubbles in the cake and flour. Right, so these are going to go in the oven. It's at 170 degrees. I'm going to put my oven gloves on, I'll put them in the oven, and I'll come back to you when I'm decorating, because I'm going to put some strawberry jam and some cream into the middle. It should be golden brown when they're ready.